racing up towards the furlong marker, and here comes Lester Piggott on Nijinsky. It's Shear on the far side, Lester Piggott on the near side of Nijinsky. Nijinsky coming and taking up from Shear and racing up towards the line. It's a miss for Lester Piggott. Nijinsky's gone clear.
Royal Academy, it's on Greek to me toward the inside. Here's the wire. Head bobbing finish. Royal Academy does it, and the living legend out of retirement, 54-year-old Lester Piggott pulls off the upset here.
And a very big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Inquiry Jubilee edition. Just it's the Epsom Derby, and no, you can't say Epsom Derby. It's the Derby and Oaks. It's not the Epsom Derby. It's the Derby and the Oaks preview show. And joining me this evening are three fine gentry. John Lang. Good evening, John.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, Nick Davis. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Lee.
And last but not least, certainly not least, is Quentin Franks. Good evening, Quentin.
Afternoon all.
Yeah, now we've done the Waltons, we can carry on and bring you a terrific show. John, just before we carry on with the show, did you see any of the Jubilee action today?
Yes, the minute I clapped eyes on it, I managed to turn the television off. The only problem is negotiating an exit from my house, because round the back street at the minute, it's awash with bunting, and I feel a little bit like stringing myself up with it.
Oh, come on, John! This is 70 years of service by our magnificent monarch, and you know, you're miserable as sin on a day.
70 years of gimmies with stallion coverings, yearlings, and she still hasn't managed to win a derby. Yeah. John Warren should be in the tower with his head on a spike anyway.
And listen, I believe also, you know, your famed, comments about the hat. I don't think the hat's been out today.
Well, no, they're probably resting the hat up for later in the week, you know. I might just be going straight to Ascot now, you know. We've had a setback.
Yeah, well, anyway, so that's John's take on the Jubilee, everybody. I mean, certainly, I enjoyed today. A bit of pomp, bit of people all cheering and waving. Does that not get you going, John?
Yeah, I guess we're going to the bog.
Okay.
The happy show.
Yeah, the happy show indeed. Yes, we're all miserable. Anyway, coming on to this brilliant show that we've got planned with some brilliant bets. Just want to mention that this show came alive last year. Thank you to the greatest trainer that's ever lived, Mr. William Haggis, and his tremendous shirt. Last year, he brought it out on that walk for Mohafeth up down the downs. He got that shirt out and ready, and he's never looked back since. Since he's worn that shirt, he's given us the greatest talent that the world has seen at this moment in time in Baid. And I'll tell you, the shirt. He's a living legend. So thank you to the shirt. I'm back to winner today of the shirt, so that was good. Anyway, onwards and upwards. We've got a busy show. So bets first of all. We're going to go third best, second best, and best as always. Nick Davis, I'm coming to you because you've been an absentee for a while. You're much missed because your flat knowledge is up there with the best. What have you got as your third best bet of the Epsom meeting?
Right, I love these handicaps at Epsom. They do lead over the years to some horses that come back, win and win again. I mean, Resurge, Fiery Light, Caspian Prince, Tartan Gear, Louis Array, Examiner. And my first bet goes in the 3:45 tomorrow. And ironically, it's not a course specialist. I mean, you've got a couple up the top there. Soto. I mean, Soto's sister, what a legend around there. But he's 7-year-old now, and this is the highest handicap mark he's had. I think he's only come here to avoid another one of my bets later in the 12 furlong race. This is a decent 10 furlong handicap. Of course, he'll run well. I mean, the favourites up in class a little bit. You can't really think, but I've gone for if this will either be tailed off or it'll hack up. and it's Royal Champion.
The Roger Varian,
yeah. Yeah. He's been gelded. He's been tried in the highest ice class. They always thought the world of this horse, I think. And I think it's today is now they've had its knackers off. It's today or never, I think. Off 97, it could be 110 horse.
Yeah. No, there's always been potential.
And it's only a win only, it's a point win only, because, I mean, you could easily see it travelling well and not doing anything. But this could run away with it, and it's 9 to 1.
10 to 1. 10 to 1 to use it.
Yeah.
Bet 365 Hills.
I think it's well worth a point anyway, because this could, if it's reproduce anything it's done at home, it'll go well here. And a lot of these, apart from the favourite, are quite well exposed, and this isn't.
Yeah, no, fair comment. It's a good start to the show. 1 point win, 10 to 1 Royal Champion in the 345 Epsom on Friday. That's for Nick to start us off. John Lang.
My third best bet runs in the 641 at Doncaster tomorrow.
Oh, what?
Sorry. Well, it is Derby week, so I've gone for Derby, who runs for Doncaster.
Topical tip.
Yeah, exactly. Not beaten far on his first run back when he was well fancied. I mean, he had 18 months off before that. The form's been frank since. The winner went close at Chester. That was Cap Francais of Ed Walker's. This one looked a little bit on the stuffy side to me when he made debut at Newmarket, and I think he's entitled to come on for it. There's some pace on here. Nigel Tinkler should make it a nice even gallop. This lad will probably sit out the back and pick him up later on. He'll do for me 1 point win.
Good stuff. Dusty's got the carrots as well at the minute.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, plenty of carrots for Dusty. 5 to 2, bet 365 then for John for his 1 point win. Yep. Good start, John, in a way. Apart from it's Doncaster, I hate Doncaster at the minute. It's horrible. But yeah, I mean, fair play. Okay, Quentin, coming to you for your third best, please.
Give me half hourly. I thought we're only tipping at Epsom, so I'm just going to scramble through the Catterick card quickly and see what I can pull out. My 1 point bet comes in the Woodcote tomorrow. Not been done any favours with the draw legend of Xanadu, but pedigree suggests he's just going to keep on improving. He's 60s icon. They're generally tough, hardy things. Time looked fine last time out. He was on the right part of the track at Redcar. The form a few behind have taken sideways steps. We'll go on the ground, no bother, and I think he's just an uncomplicated sort who's going to get further. 15 to 2, 7 to 1 generally looks overpriced. A few ahead of him in the market I don't particularly like. Commander Straka, got doubts about the trip for him. Estate, similar. He hung last time out. Keep Bidding was a fair performance at Nottingham first up. Clearly will improve for the trip and experience. And Silence is surprisingly short. I thought 15 to 2 was overpriced. I thought 6 to 1 the week was overpriced, to be honest. So 1 point win, 15 to 2.
No, 1 point win, 15 to 2 for Quentin. I think it's a dreadful Woodcote. Absolutely.
It's a bad one.
Dreadful. And for the price, 75,000 for a conditions race. And you see the standard running there. Half of these will get beaten a Ripper Maiden. It's dreadful sort of standard. But Quentin's highlighted one there that did win easy last time out. So good luck with Legend of Xanadu, Quentin. I'm going against Nick Davis in the 345 race for my 1 pointer. But at least it's not obvious. Oh, not too obvious. Caradoc at 9 to 1. Bet 365 and Coral for Dead Walker. And Tom Marquand. I believe this has got a lot better chance than his odds suggest. In 2020, in this race, he was absolutely stone last turning in, which is where he usually comes from. But they got no pace because the Kilt had nicked it off the front end with Sky Defender, and Caradoc was powering down the hill and finishing fast and late. I think there's likely to be a decent pace on, or half decent pace on. Which will probably suit this time. And Caradoc was very interested at 9 to 1 because I don't believe he's been busy this year. If you watch his runs, he's never been busy really. They've never been bothered. The targets are clearly this and or the Magnet Cup. You know, that you can see that's where they've planned the season again. And I think he's fair enough off 98. They'll be disappointed they haven't got dropped, but he's every chance of reversing the form with Mokhtar on Goodwood. Mokhtar had the easy lead when he won at Goodwood, and Caradoc was giving him a lot of start and ran on into second. So Caradoc, if you want to be at each way ponds, you could do, I suppose, because if he gets every chance, he's not going to be far away. It's up to you, but I'm going 1 point win at 9-1. Okay, on to the 2 pointers. John, I'm coming back to you for your 2 pointer, please.
You're going to love this.
Doncaster.
Yeah, there's 3 or 6 at Doncaster. This is how we're all made. Hilts. I'm not entirely convinced he needs to go up in trip again just now, but for me, he's still got the thick end of half a stone up his sleeve, and I think it'll be there. We've discussed him enough not to go into any great detail about him. I think we know enough about him, really. 2 points win. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do think Hiltz now he's going up a little bit. Probably not yet, but I do think he's ground dependent. I think he'd improve another half a stone if he gets cut. It's currently on the soft side at Doncaster, so you're all right, but obviously, I've not really looked at weather forecasts at Doncaster, as this is a Derbyshire and Oakshire, John. People keep mentioning, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, 2 points win, Hiltz for John.
If it's any consolation, you'll be approving of the next one.
Good, but anyway, Hiltz is obviously a friend of the show. We've got many friends of the show this year, and Hiltz is a friend of the show now. Won twice, and John.
Is Graham Cunningham a friend of the show now?
No, no, he is. But yeah, it's me. Yeah, I was like, gin infused Twitter rouse. You can't beat him. So 5-1. 5-1 Hiltz for John is his second best. We'll come to me then and leave the best judges till last. Mine goes tomorrow. In fact, all my bets are tomorrow. How disappointing for Saturday punters. No, how good for Saturday punters. Golf Club will be relieved. 3-10 Epsom tomorrow. The Coronation Cup. What better way to celebrate the Jubilee this week? And I'm going for an old friend of ours, Manobo. I can't believe the odds, to be honest. 5-2. I don't think we'll see 5-2 again for this horse. You've got High Definition at 4-1. Again, that is a. How on earth have they put High Definition up £12 from 107 to 119 on the back of the last run? When we all know how Curragh can work, you could send a handicapper from the front of the Curragh some days in group races, and it'll finish third in a big race. Just how the Curragh rides, and I'm not. He hasn't just improved. He hasn't just improved £12 in one run. He just hasn't. And how that is 4-1. Because only way he'll probably run his race if they go from the front again. Well, you got the kilt, you know, you've other possible pace pressures. I don't see how that's 4-1. Pile driver.
Yeah, anyway, is he?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, you know, I'm astonished at the pricing of this. Pile driver, they're all backing it as if it's last year's sort of like form. He hasn't. I know he's had some bad trips out in the desert, but last time out, he sort of had every chance. That level of form, just beating Alan Kerr, like comes in with High Definition form, if you like. But Alan Kerr would probably beat High Definition on a less biased track. Pile Driver's 7-4. I don't think Pile Driver's the horse we saw last year before injury. I don't think he's far off, but I don't think he is the horse. Manobo is the real deal. If it wasn't for Adayar and it wasn't for Hurricane Lane, Manobo would have been contesting the top mile and a half races last year. And the only reason he wasn't is because they tried to keep them all apart and tried to turn this into a cup horse. He's been too keen in Dubai. Reportedly, he bled in Dubai, but he didn't bleed on the racetrack. He bled in the stables. So was he happy out there? Well, I've tried to get my feelers out, and the chap that rides the horse apparently is very uncooperative in telling anyone anything. Didn't get it off him, but I'm reliably told, that the horse has been working extremely well off a work watcher that watches them there. And there's no issues, none whatsoever. The horse is a happy horse. So that's good enough for me. 5-2, 2 points win, Manobo, Coronation Cup. Would have been my best bet, but I've got a better one. So it just is what it is. So, Quentin, coming to you. for your number 2.
My number 2 comes in the 15:45 at Epsom tomorrow. Not really much to add, to be honest, to what you said, Lee. Caradoc, 2 points win, 9-1. He got beat last time out, not off really. Further back than ideal, steadily run race. Decent time clocked behind the Dark Shift, who wins the Hunt Cup if he gets a decent draw. Goodwood, he was behind the favourite here. The favourite's been revitalised, Mocker said, by the switch to William Nightshard. He was a dog previously, and I just, at the end of that race, I saw his head coming up. I thought, well, another few runs, is he going to want to keep putting it in? Yeah. I've got concerns about him. This bad company had the rail at Newmarket last time out when it was hot rail day. I'm surprised Caradoc's not 5-1 here. There's plenty of pace to aim at. Travels, 2 points win, 9-1.
No, good stuff. I'd have rung the klaxon bell there, but like I say, I respect Nick's selection, so we can't ring a klaxon because we've got 3 tips in the race. But obviously, up for 2 horses, a big Dutch klaxon. That's the one, Dutch klaxon. Caradoc and Royal Champion, 1 point win on each, like price wise. Tom Seagal, got the game by the bollocks. Nick Davis.
Right, my second best bet goes in the Northern Dancer on Saturday at 5:15. And it's last year's winner, Midnight Legacy. I think Soto Sizzler going to the 10 furlong race. They don't think they could beat it on about £7 worse terms than it was last year. And I prefer Alan King as a flat trainer these days rather than a jumps trainer. He seems to have he seems to do well at all these big festivals. He seems to keep getting them one up. He's got Buick back on. I can't see a lot of negatives in the race. Buick back's on for the first time since it won last year. So they obviously think Saturday's the day with it. That's my second best bet. I think it's 6, is it?
13-2 with Denise Kurtz.
Yeah.
The Stoke-on-Trent Tree Trunk firm are giving 13-2 for Midnight's Legacy. So you can have that, Nick, for your 2-pointer. It doesn't look the strongest of renewals, I have to say that. So so I kind of get where you're coming from with that. Nothing really negative to say about that at all. Okay, we're coming on to best bets times. So what can we do? Go on, I'll kick us off. It's in the Oaks, and I'm sort of a bit perplexed here. I've tried to analyse and tried to make the case for why Nashua is not at least the same price of Emily Upjohn, because honestly, every single data piece I've got, sectional timing, times, etc., blah blah blah, has Nashua in front of Emily Upjohn, and the visual impression that Nashua has given me over Emily Upjohn is better. Emily Upjohn ran at York in the Musidora, was very keen as well. I'm not obviously didn't have much to beat. Obviously Quentin mentioned about backing Emily Upjohn anti-purse. You may as well, if you liked her for the Musidora, because it'd be shorter. He was spot on. He mentioned the value that day. He's got it. So I'm not dissing Emily Upjohn in terms of that won't win the Oaks. I just don't understand why one's 11.08 and one's 4s, because there is no piece of data that I have or gut feeling or visual references watching videos as to why there's a disparity between the two. Now, you could say that, well, Emily Upjohn will be ridden more handier and Nashua will be dropped out under Holly. And, there is a little bit of a worry there. It could be too far back. But, I mean, this is where I'm at. I don't get the pricing. 4-1. We said on the show, I think it was a few sermons back, John, didn't we? We mentioned Nashua at 10s, saying Nashua couldn't be 10s in the Oaks market after her success at Newbury, because visually it was just very impressive. And the times back it up. So I'm saying here that 4-1 is my max play for 3 points, and I think Nashua will win the Oaks. I genuinely feel that if things go away and they go a nice pace and it's not a farce, I think Nashua will win the Oaks. Okay, chaps, I will come to Nick Davis next.
Right then, mine best bet goes in the 2:35 tomorrow, the mile handicap. A few that run one here. I mean, This Is Us likes it here, but it is drawn a bit wide, and it may find itself with too much to do. Corazon Espinado likes it here as well. But I'm going, after its last run at Chester, I'm going for Revich. They've got Crowley back up on. I think it's around about 10 to 1. I think 10 to 1. I think it's far too big. This is one around here as well. It's going to get, it's going to be up there. I don't think it's a massive pace war up there. I think it's going to be round about sort of fourth or fifth there. And I can see it's well overpriced at that thing, 9, 10 to 1.
Yep, 9 to 1 generally available. Davis has probably been round London, smashing it all up in the shops. Like he's had all the 10s. I can tell it through his language there. He's had the 10s. 9s is available for Revich for his 3-pointer. Good luck with that, Nick. Yep, nothing again not to like about that. Quentin, coming to you for your 3-pointer.
It's like the whole countdown scenario where I've been copying your answer, Lee. My best bet is Manobo in the 310.
Yes.
Like,
we might get a klaxon.
I feel there's one coming from somewhere else, someone else's selection. What's not to like about him? How he's not favourite here at 7 to 4, 13 to 8. You got Hakumu reportedly needs to run high definition, as you pointed out. Curra front end. Trip, is he going to get the trip? There's enough pace on. What really is pile driver? I feel like people in the markets have kind of fallen in love with him because he's a William Muir horse and he's the underdog and all that bollocks. But he had every chance in the desert last time out. I know he was unlucky in running slightly, but when he got out in the clear, he was hardly flying home. Like, Bonobo clearly didn't stay, 2 miles or whatever. He's a free goer. He is a 1.5 mile horse. He's got gears for fun. Pulled clear with the Derby second last year when making his debut. What is he, 5 to 2? Yeah, that's a max bet. 5 to 2, 3 points win.
I agree with it. It's a much better race this year than it was last year when Pile Driver won it as well. Who did he battle the Haggis thing, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat the Haggis Hound.
Alazi,
hit 101 and then didn't put it in. So it's he's short, Pile Driver. He's very short. So hopefully the Italian fucks up and Buick and Appleby can celebrate. So.
Yep, we're all over Manoba. He's going to get klaxon, but John, I'm coming to you for your best.
Well, you'll be pleased to hear that this one's actually at Epsom. We're in the 5:45 tomorrow, and I was having a look at the race, and the biggest issue here could be the lack of obvious pace. I think Pocket the Prophet might have been suited to this track and ground given searing pace, but this looks iffy to me. Same for the perennial unlucky loser that we picked in Arban. However, Lord Rapscallion has been brought along steadily by his shrewd friend of the show trainer. And the draw is just about okay for him here. He's in 10, and I think he'll sit handy off this. He ran a belter in this off 93 last year when he didn't get the clearest of runs. And his shrewd friend of the show trainer has managed to get him £10 lower here. We know he acts round here. It was a swamp last year, so rain won't be an issue. You tell me, boys, what's not to like. 3 points win.
Well, 3 points win. No wankering from you.
Absolutely not.
3 points, 18's on the nose. John wants to take it out big bar blitz style with Lord Rapscallion. Yeah. Well, I can
tongue tie back on.
Yeah, I can see your case. Do you know what? I mean, we're not discussing this race because it's not a TV race, but Pocket the Prophet, I've been busting for to run a 6 furlong soft ground again, and I'll have the lot on. So that they've gone 7 furlongs, stuck Ailey Turner on. And it's probably not going to be that soft. There will be a bit of cutting ground, but it'll be all right for it. But still,
I think your danger's down the bottom, Nuvolari. I think it'll be ridden a lot differently tomorrow. I think it's been held up. I mean, it was my idea of it was when it finished about in Sandown behind my idea of the Britannia winner, Hayes. And the last time it's been ridden from the back. He's got fanning on it tomorrow. I think that only means one thing. This is going to go from the front tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Flapper Joe. You don't want Flapper Joe 2/3 down the pack. That's no good. You need him controlling the fractions. As the kilt also nicked the Zetland Gold Cup today from the front.
That was. I had a look at that, but that wasn't the price I wanted. I thought it had been in a couple of better handicaps than that, hadn't it? The one at Newmarket it ran in. I think it was a better handicap than the one today, but it was no price.
Yeah. Okay, right. Thanks, chaps. So that's our best bets done. We've got one Claxon in Manobo for the Coronation Cup, a close Claxon. Well, no, we'll give it two Claxon. We'll have a Dutch Claxon in the Cazoo handicap with the Royal Champion and Caradoc. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And John's got some bets at Doncaster as well. So right, we'll come on to the two classics, because this is what you want to know, what to back in the classics if you've not listened to best bets. So we'll start with the Oaks. Obviously, I've tipped in it and I've said my piece. So I'm going to leave you three to chew the fat over the Oaks.
I'm just trying to remember how our conversation about Nashua started this morning, Lee. What was it I said?
You said you were going to smash the arse off this and smash it and keep smashing it, and then but made sure you put a big smash the arse off lane.
That's the one, yeah. Based really on the fact that Holly Doyle absolutely took her brains out for a wash last time in the trial. She went from last to first between the 3-pole and the 2-pole, which is plainly ridiculous. You don't do that unless you get a bit giddy and girly. Sorry, Holly, but maybe.
That's it. The Me Too movement are going to descend on.
Yeah, tough.
We'll have 30,000 new followers by the end of the night. Yeah, all shouting at you.
Hashtag Me Too.
That's me worry tomorrow. To be honest, I think big chance of winning first classic, going well, turning in, gets a bit giddy, could have a Mr. Bailey scenario. So I am going to put a lane round about the even money mark to get this ridiculously hefty welt I'm going to have on this back. So there it is for me. I did think the Algarve would finish closer to the favourite than it did at York. Looked as though it gurgled a bit about 300 yards out. So much in need of the race. I think that will come on quite a bit. And I think the Aidan O'Brien Chester winner will run very well if it is wet, because it would probably bag the near side rail if it came across.
Yeah, John, do we think the ITV racing will do a sex wee if Holly wins?
Absolutely.
I think so as well. Yeah, I do. I think they'll all be like eulogising. Oh, Holly Doyle won.
Well, Hugo Vickers, royal biographer and correspondent, was on Loose Women today, and he was commentating on the balcony. Who was on the balcony and who he'd seen and everything. And I'm absolutely convinced Hugo was on his 4th pair of undies by the time that was.
There you are, folks. Loose Women commentary from John today. Yeah. Okay. Nick, I know you said to me off air you'd no opinion on the Oaks.
Not really, no.
No. Quentin?
Well, I put up Tuesday on that pointless 5 to follow show at 10-11 1 anti-post. She's the same sort of price. She's 3 years old tomorrow she turns. She's improving gradually. Emily Upjohn, I've got a position on at 4 to 1, 7 to 2. She's now 11 to 8.
Yeah.
The one at a bigger price, I'm just going to have a few quid on is Moon de Vega. She was unlucky at Chester, got caught in a pocket and found trouble in running a couple of occasions. At 33 to 1, I think she's slightly overpriced. But with the positions I've got, I've not really done a massive amount on the race. I've just kind of left them and we'll go from there. Suspect the ground tomorrow is going to ride soft side of good. They'll come far side, not far. Yeah, far side. So that's it. I'm going to have a small position on Moon de Vega. Emily Upjohn Tuesday, I've got positions on. There's no juice in the Emily Upjohn price as it is, no.
Do we think Tuesday is a bit, I don't know, I mean, it might improve massively.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You don't, but I don't know. I'm not taken by Tuesday at all. I don't know why it is. I just can't get excited because I thought Concert Hall did the best sort of like 1 mile Oaks trial. That's what I'd take from that Guineas, that Concert Hall looked the best Oaks prospect. Anyone sort of agree with that or disagree?
If I wouldn't have run another 2 furlong, you wouldn't have said Tuesday better, would you?
No, but
No, I think so.
you know, but I'm not so sure, chap. Are we not so sure about the mile form for the fillies? It looks, apart from Homeless Songs, which obviously bolted up at the Curragh, there's nothing I've seen from any of the mile fillies where I'm bouncing for any of them.
Well, no, Cachet won the Guineas, so that kind of says it all, doesn't it? It's weak miling fillies. Bar Homeless Song. What's she for the bet if she goes to Ascot at 6-4?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like you say. I don't know. Yeah, we'll move on from we're bored of the fillies. It's gin and pate for most. But Nash were for me because I didn't take the 10s. I mentioned the 10s on the sermon. I'm a bit pissed off. I didn't bother having a go because, and now it's 4s and it might seem boring, but I still think it's value at 4s because I genuinely feel on the numbers it's got a big chance. Okay, we'll move on to the Derby then on Saturday. So obviously 17 go to Perst. John, how many?
Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to see? I think this looks a proper Derby. Isn't it nice? You've got 12 different trainers, a field of 17, and it's nicely balanced. It's not one with Aidan O'Brien with 6 horses, Godolphin with a couple, and 3 rags.
It does give you a bit of hope that it'll be decently run, doesn't it?
Yeah. No. I mean, John's obviously banged the drum for a long time about how pissed off he is with the Derby when O'Brien ends up running 6 and 2 pacemakers, 2 in the middle, 2 at the back, and I agree because he can produce some silly results, a la Serpentine, etc., etc.
It's funny the pace tomorrow as well. I mean, Royal Patronage and Stone. I've really drawn low. 1 and 4. They're going to have to work awfully hard to get to the front.
I bet John was happy when Johnston got drawn 1.
Well, to be fair, Adayar was drawn 1, Earth was drawn 1. It can be done. But obviously, statistically, you don't want to be drawn stalls 1 and 2 in the Derby. Obviously, because if you look at the Google Maps...
You don't want to be turned by the kilt, either, do you?
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the big disadvantage. Jason Hart in the saddle, is he normally riding? Yeah, he's been riding it, hasn't he? That's strange. Why do you think from the start they've put Jason Hart on and not Joe? Do you think that's a request of Highclere?
Yeah, they must want somebody that's like
under 50.
76. Harry Herbert can't relate to all the people, can he?
So now we've got the Me Too #Me Too on us tomorrow, and the Ageist Society that are on this podcast.
Well, I mean, age concern after
age discrimination. Where we go here, Desert Crown to kick the race off. Obviously, this is going to be a blogger bet. There's no danger that bloggers going to be all over Desert Crown on Saturday. To be fair, Desert Crown, if you look at the sectionals of the race this year and compare it on very, very similar ground last year when Hurricane Lane won the Dante, on a rough comparison, and it is a bit crude to compare year for year because you don't know the wind conditions and everything else, you'd say Desert Crown is a better horse than Hurricane Lane. So that's on times. That, visually it looked good. Sir Michael Stout was beaming because he kind of said before the Dante that this horse had not much experience and would improve possibly for the run quite a bit. We might have something special on our hands here, chaps. Do we agree or not agree?
Oh, there's plenty of upside. There's plenty of upside from him, isn't there? There's all the upside in the world, given the way the trainer operates and the way he trains. There's every upside in the world. I mean, whether I want to back him at 7-4, no, but I can't say that he can't win because it's so much upside.
Did you hear Kieran Fallon's comments this morning on the draw? regarding Walk of Stars. He said this horse has improved a ton since Lingfield. Different horse, he says. I thought that was interesting because given how green he is, and I mean, basically, me and John were ready to call him the Goshen of the 3-year-old staying types after Lingfield when he just hung his chance away. But Kieran Fallon, he was pointless. Which would you ride in the Derby if you could? So I mean, obviously you can pick the favourite, whatever. And he just said Walker Stars, unanimously. Just went Walker Stars. He says this is a different horse since Lingfield.
Well, he rides work at Applebee's, doesn't he? So
yeah.
He was obviously going to pick an Appleby horse. So I think it's still quite telling that he picked Walker Stars. As you said, I think we were against him on the Lingfield Derby podcast or whatever it was. Just given he hung at Newbury and again he hung at Lingfield. But if I didn't hear them comments, but I think they're quite telling, to be honest, because time looked fine at Lingfield, and if he's growing up all the time, he's only had 4 spins already. It's quite interesting. I don't mind that. Yeah,
if it's a case of being immature rather than just ungenuine, which if you consider the two, if you're ungenuine, it doesn't really matter what speed you can run to because they'll always toss it off. But if it just is a genuine case of the horse is extremely immature mentally, and Fallon was adamant, he said this is a different horse since Lingfield. It's come on a bundle. So it just, that could be interesting for long price. If someone wants a long price to have a go at, maybe to look at, because he's got the quality, he's got the pedigree to do it. So that could be interesting.
What do you make of the Cresford horse?
I didn't mind him. The time, the concern is he was a bit free at Nottingham. The form's not worked out, but the time was good, and I think he'll get the trip. But given how he goes through a race, I think 12 furlongs on his third start in this sort of environment might be a bit too much.
Yeah,
you're saying them comments, and then you look at the price, and what is he, 33, 40, something like that. So, can you grab him at them prices? Not really given the upside he's got.
Yeah, I'll go with that, Quentin. I'll go with that. Have we got anything at big prices? Because we came up with the Hannon horse last year at big prices to run a big race. So
we had something at a big price, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one for me at a large price, Grand Alliance, your horse to follow, Lee. Nothing wrong with the Epsom run behind the Harney. Further back than ideal in that race. The race has worked out well. They knocked the ears off of Zane Surinder at Newmarket, came second. United Nations has won from that. Mighty Ulysses looks a group horse, didn't stay that day. 100 to 1. If you can get involved in the 5-6 place market with that, I think it'll be hard to kick out of the 5 or 6 place. I'm pretty keen on him.
Yeah, I don't mind the high draw either, because
the high draw's better there.
Yeah, the changing of the guard, that I'm pretty certain they'll go very forward with that. So I definitely think as they migrate for that turn, I don't think it'll be in the worst position. I mean, obviously it's going to be I would say probably held up. I don't know what they're planning, but yeah, like you said, Quentin, something to look at long range. Like some bookmakers are paying daft places again. It could be something for people that don't like short prices. 100 to 1 could certainly be very interesting. Anything to add on the Derby, chaps, before we move on to the TV races?
I suppose in the Derby, I mean, what do we all think of the O'Brien ones then?
Well,
what would you like to back out the O'Brien ones at the prices?
Well, I wouldn't back changing the guard because it was given a perfect Chester ride, which it was literally the perfect Chester ride. You cannot get a more polished ride than what Ryan Moore gave it at Epsom. So I'm not really interested in that at all. 8 to 1, it just doesn't float my boat at all.
What about the Joseph O'Brien one? Any opinions on that?
The baby Josephs.
Donnaker's.
Donica.
I'm going
to say it's the fetus, Nick. The fetus. I'm going to say
right.
You threw me off there. The fetus. Fetus Donica. Obviously beat a horse I like a lot in Buckaroo. Buckaroo disappointed a little bit in the Irish 2000. I said after the race at Leopardstown that Pisbadeel wouldn't beat Buckaroo again. I'm not really a fan of Pisbadeel either.
I think it's going to get a better position than Stone Age. I don't think this is ideal for Ryan getting the 4 box.
No, I said before that and Royal Patience have to work awfully hard to get to the front.
Yeah. I think Ryan's going to end up further back than he wants, because I can't see him bolting along early on this. Because, I mean, it's out with Anna Bar Mare. He's not absolutely cast down to get the trip. I can see Ryan a fair old way back here on the inside. And whereas I think Piss Badale will be reasonably handy with a sort of failed stick.
Piss Badale, I like that one. Piss Badale. Yeah, Piss Badale. We'll go with that. So, okay, we've done the Derby and Oaks. So we're in a consensus that... No, we're not in a consensus. We're not in any kind of consensus.
No one's giving any tips.
No one's ever given any fucking tips. I mean, what kind of show is this? You're listening to a podcast. You want Derby and Oaks. They're wondering what to back. So, right, come on then, chaps. Let's surmise it. What are gun to head? What are each of us backing? So for me, it's Nashua in Oaks. Leng, it's Nashua in Oaks because he's told me he's backing that. Nick, if you were gun to head in Oaks, what would you back?
Your one, Nashua, yeah.
Nashua.
I'd back, yeah.
Quentin, you've got a bet now. What is it? I know your positions. But
bet now, I would play Moon de Vega each way.
Moon de Vega each way. Okay, Derby. So I'm going to be Blogger and go Desert Crown. Maybe Walker Stars. No, actually, I'll change that. Walker Stars, because I was convinced by Kieran's stern face that this was the real deal since Lingfield. So, and that was the same trial as ADL last year. So,
wait till it goes off 66 on the machine and he's laid the arse out of it.
Well, he's one of them late gambles, sort of 16s into about 8. Kieran's telling the truth. So I'm going with Walker Stars, I think. John?
I'll go with the Crystal one.
Yeah,
33s.
The wind blows. Yeah.
Grand Alliance each way, 100 to 1.
Yeah, 6 pegs. Quentin's looking for the 6 peg.
Right. 6 pegs, 66 to 1 then.
Yeah, that'll do. John?
Desert Crown.
Yeah, I want Desert. My heart says I want Desert Crown to win. Not because for any other reason that I want the Baron to. He's not going to be training forever, and I want him to go out in a way that sort of Cecil did with a bit of a superstar, really, because he deserves it. He's been a brilliant trainer all his life, so that's my wishes there. Okay, let's do the TV races then, chaps. So tomorrow at Epsom, we start off with a Woodcote. Quentin's already mentioned Legend of Xanadu, and I agree with him on this. I think it's probably the best horse in the race, and that shows you the standard. It's not good. So thoughts on the Woodcote? Any thoughts, John, Nick?
I just thought if I had to play on the race, I'd probably go for the 2 unexposed horses. There's Keep Bidding from Rafe and Ralph, and the Cannon horse as well. Both showed promise on debut and open to more progress than most of these. I'd maybe say which one I like the look of better, pre-race.
Yes.
Have a little sneaky play on one of them.
I can see a John Ling paddock look before the race, and he'll be messaging me saying this either looks shit or good. We'll go to the I love it when he says this looks shit. 235 at Epsom. That's the Whirlpool Handicap. Totally Charming. I think this is a very good horse. I'm amazed they've come here, though.
I mean, Revich is my best bet of the weekend. So
it is. So you've got to sit out, Nick, because you've already told us. So it's me, Quentin, and John chewing the fat on this. And Totally Charming, I had a really big bet on this last time because I think it's a really good horse. I think it's like I saw this as like a Royal Ascot horse, the straight mile in the Hunt Cup, and they've decided to come to this gas pit, stole one, dropped out, or what good's that?
No good whatsoever at this gas pit, is it?
No.
And if you got it in mind for the Hunt Cup, you'd be quite delighted at what they're doing, really, because I'm quite delighted at what they're doing with Fantastic Fox, because I've got him in mind for the Hunt Cup.
Right.
I don't want him winning this, and I think he'll get a bit lit up here. Anthony will try to switch him off, and he'll probably look a bit disappointed. And if that's the case, I'll be quite happy with that. I'm all over Revich, same as Nick, I think he's got a hell of a good chance.
Good stuff.
He was way too keen in the Lincoln, and ran really well at Chester. So every indication to say this mark isn't beyond him. I think 6 is a pretty good draw. Firework bled on his final start last year. Probably also some potential. They tried cheap pieces last time when he bled there off. But I think he might not want too much dig in the ground.
Yeah, the shirt says it might blow up on reappearance.
Yeah, I'm very keen on Rivage.
I'm laughing at my own. I'm laughing at my own shit here. There's no sadder thing than that. Laughing at your own shit. Anyway. All right. Right. Okay. We'll move on from that then. We're bored.
Hold on. I think I've done one. Revich interested me in the race, but I thought the other non-friend of the show, Dan and Claire Kubler horse, I didn't think that shaped too bad at Redcar. It kind of shaped like it needed a run back in April. The yard weren't in good nick then. Ended up on the wrong part of the track, furthest away from the far side rail. I think Boardman came out the race and obviously franked the form. But he's got a good win here at Epsom in a decent time mid-summer last year, 25-1. He kind of appeals as backable. Drawing 13's a concern, but he'll go forward and there's not too much pace to his immediate inside. So I doubts about Totally Charming even on the surface. I'm not sure if you do. Obviously, best form's been on your weather. He's only had two tough starts, but
that's why we like you know, like for Totally Charming, like Ascot and Doncaster, like kind of replicate the all weather. So yeah, like I was surprised they turned up, unless it's a plot to get, I don't know, pound off. But then why? But Will Buick, I can't see Totally Charming winning because stall one, you can't go forward, so you're trapped at the back. But no, good stuff about Burland Park, Quentin. Not friends of the show though, Daniel and Claire Kubler. They sent me an email calling me a cunt, but that I mean basically that's the very good judges. The
course, ain't it?
Yeah, good judges, the Kublers.
Claire using language like that.
I don't think it was Claire. But anyway, I think they took offence to one of our pods or something. I can't remember, but it was a while ago.
But there's a fair few they could have.
Yeah, I might have mentioned something like, you know, the Ivy running up a wall and they couldn't get it to do that, but something like that. Anyway, we move on to the Coronation Cup where me and Quentin have klaxoned. We're all sat pressing klaxon on Manobo. Nick, I think are you favourable on Manobo, Nick?
Oh yeah, I'm favourable on Manobo.
Yeah. So that
I think it could be a Manobo Huckham forecast.
If you said that quicker, it'd sound even better. Yeah. Right, so Manobo and Huckham, it's a tongue twister, especially when you're on the gin. John.
Huckham, let's back Manobo.
To be honest, I mean, it shouldn't be a super klaxon bet really, because all four of us agree. So, yeah, I know it's too short for Nick at 5-2. Nick's not interested in anything unless it's got 5-1 plus. So, yep, that's it. We're all Manobo. So the Cazoo handicap, where I think 3 of us has tipped in this, have we? Caradoc, me and Quentin for the klaxon, and the Dutch klaxon on roll champion for Nick. I agree with Nick's case actually. This, you know, that it is the sort of like mystery chocolate in the box where it doesn't tell you what it is. You know, it's one of them. It might be one of a coffee cream, which is shit, or it might be a really good one. But John, what's your thoughts on the Cazoo handicap?
I'm hoping it's the purple one with the toffee and the hazelnut.
I like that one, yeah.
Because I'm all over road champion as well, the same as Nick. I think you've got to forgive the fetid Debut this year. Obviously, he's going to start to cause headaches if he doesn't deliver very, very soon. But I think he's worth another go here. I think it's interesting that the trainer's not worried about taking him to a track like Epsom as well. You know, I mean, he could have easily found a suitable race Newmarket, somewhere like that. But he's going all in there, and I'm happy to follow him.
Good. We've got a good Dutch then. So we've definitely got two Claxons here.
Dutch.
Yeah, Manobo and the Dutch, which is Royal Champion and Caradoc. Okay, on to Saturday's TV races, just 4 to go before we end the show. And we start with the aptly named Cazoo Handicap to start the card. The 2 o'clock, 5 to 1 favourite is Blue Trail. Mr. Big Stuff of Richard Spencer's his second in. Any views on this?
No, none from here.
I thought Mr. Big Stuff got a stinker off Mrs. Marquand at Dahlbury latest. Should have gone close at the very least. This might not be the place to gain redemption with the way the horse seems to need to be ridden. But I'd say it'd be very, very hard to roll out with a clear run. Still got more to offer that one. And the Killed Horse, God, hold your breath, lads. It's very rare I take one of his. Sharp Combo, I think he's open to improvement now, going up to 10. And has been gelded since last season, and he's bound to be fairly handy off what wouldn't be guaranteed pace, I would have thought. So he could be very interesting first time out.
Interesting.
He looked the type to be a better 3-year-old, nagging doubt about in regards to turf and all weather, given his best form has been on the all weather, but he's only had limited turf starts.
No trains in Quentin.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another one for you in this, Knowlton Cross. I think it's been poorly ridden. They've had Ross Kirkley on it twice. He's been going slow paces. And Harry Davis sort of like got the set by going a slow pace again at Sandown in the 4 in a race. It rallied late, and I think that was the undoing of Knowlton Cross. It doesn't look any way in the shape of a horse that you want to go slow on. It's got some very, very good novice form. To be rated 80, I think this is well handicapped and now they've put Iron Hands on. King Kong Iron Hands. He's off to King Kong. He's D'Souza. They'll be wanting to bar out with an Epsom winner, and I just think that it'll be an uncomplicated ride. D'Souza might actually go a better pace or get handy on this. And I thought Knowlton Cross was interesting for Carl Palmer at 10 to 1.
Favourite looks short in the race, though. I know it comes from the Esher Cup and that normally works out, but that didn't really look a good Esher Cup this year. As John said, Mr. Big Stuff comes from the London Gold Cup. I think that will work out as a good race, but Epsom is that his course. Knowlton Cross, as you said, re-rallied at Sandown last time out after setting ridiculously slow fractions. Targiola, I thought caught the eye. It's only Ripon form, but they've stuck the visor on David Egan's, an upgrade on Clifford Lee. Form got a knock. I think it was Hamilton earlier in the day, but 12 to 1 I thought was sporting about him.
Yeah, physically I like him, Quentin. I think he's got a lot of improvements to come this year in terms of size and scope. He's the one that I would have like as a physical specimen, probably well above 85. He's just obviously, it might take a bit of time this year, but good shout. Okay, 2:35 then. We move on to the Princess Elizabeth Stakes. Is this a gin and pate race, John?
Yep. Right, yeah.
Yep.
Are we letting the dog in?
No, I'm not actually.
I
was totally convinced Potter Porter had it in a run to about 108, 110 going into the Coronation Stakes last year. And various things seemed to go wrong and all the rest of it, what with ground and ridiculous hold-up tactics on occasion. And then she planted herself in the stalls at Doncaster. But I thought she ran in the manner of a filly that got sorted out when she came back at Kempton. And I think she ought to be favourite ahead of Barishnikor, I think it is, of the Kilts. But the one I'm a little bit interested in as a value poke is Statement, a horse I was very critical of last year when it was with Martin Maid. I thought all sorts of crap about the attitude, and I'm pleased it's changed yards. I was really surprised to see it fetch 300k. But I think Kevin Ryan's the type of lad that will have this completely revved up for debut. I think fresh could be the time to catch her. And I think 25 to 1 plus is very, very tempting for a horse with some good form at this level in the bank. The running last year's Fred Darling, which was probably the best Fred Darling that's ever been run, would put her well in front of these.
Good stuff. Yeah, 300k. It's an interesting purchase because I can't really see it in the pedigree why they pay 300k in terms of.
I'd have been barking at giving 30. So
it's interesting that they do. There must be something in that, but big price. Okay, we'll move on to the Diomed, the 310. Modern News, 11 to 10.
Blogger thing. Get your selfie sticks out and rate your steak.
Post your bets. Yeah, that's it. £100 win, Modern News, 11 to 10, and then post a Chateaubriand with 6 chunky chips sticking out of a little bowl, and then with your betting slip next to it, and say Modern News, boom.
And then if the rain comes, there's going to be some long faces. I think this gets beat on soft ground. He doesn't move like time and sectionals off the clock last time out at Windsor. He's been beat on good to soft already, and he doesn't move like a soft ground horse. And my angle into the race is, if, like we discussed off air, the forecasts are saying different thing. Nick said it's now saying dry. I've said thunderstorms. Lee said wind. So I thought if the rain comes, I thought Zarkuski was a massive price here.
Yeah, 12 to 1. Yeah, for Charlie Appleby. Yeah.
He's got soft ground form in the book. Disappointed at over in the desert, but he went off 5 to 2 jolly for a Jebel Hatter. There's form in the book. There's not much pace in the race, and I think he just looks the type that will be suited by just being let roll round here. If like I said, if it depends if the rain comes. If it's fast ground, then good luck beating Modern News. But if the rain comes, then Zarkuski's a fair poke at 12 to 1.
Good stuff, Quentin. Yep, I like that if the ground comes. I actually agree with you on that. I think that's when I'll be backing or keeping an eye on the weather for that one, certainly. Nick, anything on that for you?
Not for me, thank you.
No. So we'll finish off then with the Epsom Dash. I reckon, Nick Davis, I'm coming to you. You must have something for the Dash.
Unfortunately, it is, but the price is gone. I mean, I haven't even availed myself of it. From the minute, I haven't seen any anti-pope. From the minute that one at Sandown, I thought, living the dream. It's unusual for a 3-year-old to run well in this, but I think he looked to me so suited, going to be suited. He gets away really, really well. I think he can beat King of the Stars to the rail. The other two near the rail, Tone of Barone and Stone of Destiny, will not beat him. I think he's to bag the rail and get a very, 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 very close. He goes here. But I'd want 10s. You want 10s in this race, don't you?
Well, if you say you want 10s, that means it's about a 5s or a 9 or 2.
I think it's 13 to 2.
Davis is like Neverlander. He's fantastic with his bets, but he literally wants his steak dinner, his pudding that works, and I believe there's a bit of value at 7s, Nick. If you're saying that should be 10s, I'm pricing it at 5s.
Well, he looks the type. He looks the type, but it's usually sort of not a 3-year-old race. But that looked to me the minute I saw that at Sandown. I said I'd put it away for that. And then we won and went and won and run another race at Chester.
Could be a lovely Epsom. Yeah, could be a lovely Epsom winner for Batman. Adam West and 7-1. I like that. I like Nick's case. I like its profile. What does Quentin and John think?
There's not a lot not to like about it, is there, really? I mean, and so I tend to agree with you. When Nick's fancying 10s, 5 to 1 probably is a decent price.
Yeah, it's about a 9 to 2 perk. If Nick likes what, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nick doesn't like to post a picture of his steak with his selfie stick after he's had a winner.
No, he doesn't.
Post a picture of the table where he's got the steak discarded, the hooker's there, spread eagled, and she's got the 6 chunky chips up her ass.
What a vision. Interesting.
I'm getting ready for it's the Barnsley Shops tonight, lads.
Barnsley Shop, there we go.
That's a sex move, we all know that. Give me the old Barnsley chop.
Steady on, mate. I'll probably get a heart attack at my age.
Donkey punch.
Barnsley chop. I can't have one of them now. Quentin, anything here?
A couple. I didn't really like Fine Wine, won by a large margin at York, and we know what happens with horses at York winning margins. I know Rasil franked the form, but looked short enough at the top of the market. Dusky Lord had the hot rail at Newmarket. Form was worked out, but didn't particularly like him. There's as there always is in a race like this, there's a stack of pace. Robert Cowell's horse at what number was it? Lip Sync, number 18. It'll be up there with the pace, but I think it'll probably go off 66, 70 on the machine, something like that. Yards coming into form. They've had a couple of winners after being in the doldrums. Shaped Like Needing It, down £2. I thought he was of interest. You're probably best off just backing it like Betfair starting price or something. I can't see him being a big gamble.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably look for a hold-up horse, maybe Mucatel. The good kids back on, headgear off. Well, headgear back on, but given the amount of pace, maybe something like that. So Lip Sync and Mucatel, or however you call it, they would be my ideas of potential bets in the race. But again, ground dependent, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to wait until the ground is known on the day, and obviously you might have to even wait longer than that. We have to wait for the weather. And your visions, I'm sure, listeners, of a Barnsley chop might have changed after this show. That's all from us.
Lee,
Go on, Nick. Yeah. Yeah, let's not back Hookham. So that's all from myself, John, Nick, and Quentin. We're back on Sunday for the sermon. We've got Icy on the show, so God knows what's going to happen in that hour on Sunday. Anything goes, and that's us as the bar stewards. So join us then, and hope you have a fabulous weekend. And let's see if Haggis gets that shirt out on Saturday. That's all from us. Bye for now.